Hello everyone, welcome to our Excel VBA tutorial series. In this video, we're delving into the concept of loops. As an essential part of any programming language, including VBA, loops allow for the repeated execution of a block of code. Think of loops as a robot assistant, automating your repetitive tasks at work. Loops repeatedly perform a series of instructions until a particular condition is met. First, let's discuss the for next loop. The loop is ideal when you already know how many times a specific piece of code should run. Let's make sure our VBA editor is ready. Go ahead and open the VBA editor. You can either type the following code as we go along, or you can simply copy and paste it from the video description section below, where I have made it available for your convenience. We're going to take a look at a real-world example now. Let's imagine you have a list of products in column A of your worksheet, and you want to add a prefix called product to all of them. Here's how you could achieve that with the loop. This code adds the prefix product to the first 10 items in column A. Before we test our code, let's take a moment to understand how this loop works. In this code, we're using for next loop. This loop is one of the most common types of loops in VBA, allowing us to execute a block of code a specific number of times. Here's what each part of the code does. For I equals 1 to 10, this line is setting up our loop. It's telling VBA to start with I equal to 1, and then increment I by 1 each time through the loop until it reaches 10. Cells I,1.value equals product, and cells I,1.value. This line is what's happening inside the loop. For each iteration of the loop, for each value of I from 1 to 10, we're prepending the text product to the existing value in cell I in the first column, column A, since column numbers start at 1. Now, next I. This line signifies the end of our loop. Once VBA hits this line, it increments I by 1, as specified in our for line, then goes back to the top of the loop and runs the code inside the loop again with this new value of I. Once I reaches 10 and the code inside the loop has been executed for the 10th time, the loop stops. Now that we've dissected this loop, let's run the code to see it at work. As you can see, the prefix product has been added to all the first 10 items in column A, all thanks to our loop. Next, we'll explore the do-while loop. The do-while loop is beneficial when the number of repetitions is not known beforehand. This loop will continue as long as a specified condition remains true. In this case, it will keep subtracting 10 from a number, starting at 100, until that number is no longer greater than or equal to 50. We begin by declaring our variable I as an integer. Next, we assign I the value of 100. Then our do-while loop starts. It's saying, as long as I is greater than or equal to 50, do the following. Now the first line inside the loop assigns the current value of I to cell C1 in our worksheet. Next, we reduce the value of I by 10. The next line is an interesting one. This is where we're using the Application.Wait function to create a delay of 1 second between each execution of the loop. This isn't necessary for the loop to work, but it's a neat trick to help visually understand what's happening during the execution of the loop. The loop statement at the end is the closing part of our do-while loop. It signifies the end of the loop block. Finally, the last line is a comment. In VBA, we can add comments to our code by using a single quotation mark. Comments are ignored by the VBA interpreter, but they're incredibly useful for leaving notes or explanations in your code for others or for your future self. This particular comment is letting you know that you can find this code in the video description section below. Let's run this macro and observe how it functions. It will keep subtracting 10 from 100, and printing the result until the number drops below 50. As you can see, the code works flawlessly. And there you have it, our practical guide to using loops in Excel VBA. Loops have wide-ranging applications, and we've just scratched the surface today. As we advance in this series, we'll uncover more complex uses and solve real-world problems. In our next video, we're taking a leap into another crucial concept, arrays in VBA. Arrays allow you to store, manage, and manipulate multiple related values, effectively boosting your VBA efficiency. Until then, don't forget that practice is the key to mastering these concepts. So experiment with your own for, next, and do while loops, and feel free to share your results or ask any questions in the comments section below. Happy coding, and see you in the next video.